This week we discussed German philosopher Goethe. Have you heard of Goethe? I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
Somebody I used to know. He's somebody I used to know. Yeah. Isn't that good?
No, he was a German guy.
Oh!
Katie Price's autobiography. Not enough people talk about how much Katie Price has done with horses, right?
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, she said, the media always focus on the bad things I do. They never focus on our charity work or my dressage. And the hierarchy of girl bands.
She bought me an All Saints CD. I threw that CD on the floor and started crying. I went like, how dare you?
Really?
Yeah. Somebody. Ignore that feeling.
So I joined the new library club.
Yeah.
And I was reading. Well, have you heard of Goethe? I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
Somebody I used to know. He's somebody I used to know. Yeah. Isn't that good?
No, he was a German guy.
Oh! I genuinely thought you were trying to set up a joke there. And I was like,
No.
I know the name of that song.
He was a German polymath in the olden days, right?
Right, okay.
So I was reading loads of his
But
quotes.
did he write one of the seminal?
No, he didn't write that.
Right, well, there we go.
No, right. I found a quote he said for you. He said,
Yeah.
the human race is a monotonous affair. Most people spend the greatest part of their time working in order to live, and what little freedom remains so fills them with fear that they seek out any and every means to be rid of it. And it made me think of you because on Sunday you were like, I have no appointments, no gigs.
I know. I love this. Is that you're reading this at the top of a podcast and people are commuting and this is what they have to hear.
You should look up his quotes.
I should.
He said, if you've never eaten while crying, you don't know what life tastes like. This guy was in like the 18th century.
This guy would have killed it on Instagram.
And he said,
would have been amazing.
He said, like, a real giveaway of a person's character,
right,
is how they treat people who can do nothing for them.
That is a great thing.
My partner said, like, he was the self-help guy of his generation.
And who is he helping? Like, who did he inspire? I'm always
Olden
afraid
days.
of, like, German philosophers.
Why?
Because
He's, like, considered one of the greatest thinkers in Germany.
Okay.
I couldn't stop reading him.
I'm just afraid of people who are considered the greatest thinkers in Germany. I'm just
yeah. Right, we went to see Kerry Katona and Katie Price.
It was incredible.
Live comedy can't compete with a show like this.
You bought the tickets for my birthday.
Yeah.
And it was for the Catford Broadway.
Yeah.
And our friend Maurice came along with us. We didn't think that she'd be into it.
Yeah,
That's
so
why.
our friend Maurice doesn't like
Culture.
She doesn't like films. She doesn't like music. And initially I thought this is going to be funny in a shit way, especially because it was on in Catford. Because I bought the tickets months ago.
Yeah.
And then as the time gets closer, there's reports in the news about how it was a disaster. Katie Price was turning up late. There was a scandal because they got Harvey to sing Whole Again.
That wasn't what happened. Kerry sang Whole Again.
I thought it was unjustified.
It was so unjustified. He happened to be on stage at the same time. And then they're like, you cannot sing a song that has a double entendre in front of, like, it's so weird.
It's because people can't reconcile Katie Price having like big tits and being glamorous and also being a full-time carer of a disabled person.
Yeah.
People want her to be a certain way.
Yeah. She can't be both.
But so where do we start? We were laughing from before the show started.
But yeah, because there was a person. Do you remember that person who was walking around in their knickers for like up and down?
Alison said, oh, there's a woman with her knickers out. And I thought she meant spinning them in the air. And I was not prepared for what I saw next. It was a woman with like her bare arse out and these like grey pants on, and you said, I have a lot of bad knickers, but that's bad.
Yeah.
But then you also were sort of looking at her going, yes, hon. And I was like, not everything. You don't have to be a cheerleader for everything.
Everything is empowering if you cheer it. Like, that's the way
But it was really shocking, eh? It wasn't.
Yeah, it was shocking.
Like her trousers were falling down. It wasn't a deliberate thing.
I think what happened to her was that she had big knickers and she mistook the comfort and amount of material there that she thought they were trousers, and she pulled them up like trousers, and unfortunately the trousers remained, but the knickers went up, so just more arse was showing.
Some of the people going into that theatre,
yeah,
I mean, it was a sea of leopard print.
I was wearing leopard print,
and so was I a little bit.
Yeah.
Every homosexual man in South East London, probably some for East London as well. We saw Izzy Sooty, Dobby from Peep Show, and she came over because she picked out my laugh. She could hear my laugh from the other side of the theatre.
Yeah.
And so this is how the show opened.
Yeah.
Katie Price walks on wearing a leotard with like her jeans down. I think this is a fashion. But her, Diamante jeans, but the jeans were like down to her mid-thigh.
Katie Price was doing a similar thing to the woman that we did see earlier.
Yes, but because she's very, very thin, it looked intentional.
That's the problem with being thin. Everything looks intentional.
Yeah, you can dress like you're insane and it looks intentional.
You can dress like a scarecrow and they'll be like, wow.
Yeah. So Katie Price comes on, she's wearing a leotard and jeans that are like down her butt.
Yeah,
singing. She's singing a single that I think was a B-side.
No, it was a current single now, and it's going up the charts. But like, it's around like. I don't want to correct you into Katie Price, but just to say, it's a current single that's loved by the fandom at the moment.
Okay. So she came on.
Yeah.
Then there was a host who was this sort of Love Island guy in a tight pastel blue suit.
Yeah, he must be a personal friend of theirs. There was a part of me sitting there going, who's his agent? I want that job.
Yeah, like Alison should have hosted it. So he came on MCing for a bit, and then they do this announcement that's kind of like two boxers getting into the ring. She's a bad woman. Welcome, like, Katie Price.
It was that kind of thing, wasn't it? It was like he was naming every kind of like professional achievement of theirs. So it's like, she's out of Atomic Kitten. She's been married 3 times. It was like,
getting everyone riled up.
It is like a boxing match. Instead of like he got knocked out TKO, it's like divorce.
Yeah,
you know? He's been married 3 times. Once ending in divorce. And total KO.
And then they say, now the way the show's going to work tonight is we have a big wheel of topics, and we're going to spin the wheel and pick a topic. And Alison turns to me like, oh, and I said, I told you about this in the group. I sent you this in the WhatsApp group.
You should know, if you send anything to the WhatsApp group, there's a 1 in 4 chance I'd have read it. Like you just have to accept that.
The reason I told you was so that you didn't like get upset at the thing.
So the 2 of them are out now. People are shouting. The wheel has come out.
Yeah, the wheel. And we think we know who's responsible for it. I see you, and I think you stole our idea. Well, we can generate more ideas, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't feel like having a wheel of topics that says like farts, poos, sex is going to be like the pinnacle of my achievements. I hope it isn't.
No, it is mine, but I need to keep going.
Well, can we say the thing about how they opened it on another night? Because we're friends with someone that has seen the show multiple times. Yeah. Apparently, one night it opened and the wheel landed on childhood,
which they should. The wheel should never land on childhood in the first bit of anything.
And the
leave that
show
for the
opens
45-minute mark.
with Katie Price saying, "I was raped at 7."
Yeah.
That was the start of the show.
Yeah.
We got a more light-hearted one.
Yeah, we did.
It was a lot more pantomimey. Like, anytime they mentioned Peter Andre, people would be like, "Boo!
Boo! But the thing is about the childhood thing, because they did talk about it at Catford, but it was in the latter half. And what I love about this show and what I want to like is, so like Katie Price has had really bad shit happen to her when she was younger.
Yeah.
She's not defined by that. Like, but she's able to talk about it. Like, I think she's genuinely very inspirational in that way. So is Kerry, because they've both had like, because it was mad seeing Katie sit beside Kerry. And so Katie was like sexually abused as a child.
Yeah.
But Katie's able to go to Kerry. You've had a way worse childhood than me. But like, I believe Katie Price when she says that to Kerry. Because like people have like different kind of like, different things about traumas. Like, sorry, I got a bit of phlegm coming up there, but it's annoying when it comes up during sexual abuse as a child. Because like it's
sorry, go on.
No, like just like what I love is like there were two people who've had really feckin' hard lives, but who were able to say to each other, "I think you've had a harder life than me," or "You've had a harder life than me." And it's not performative, and it's like a real genuine conversation.
Well, I also was that you've talked loads about how much the media, mainstream media, hates working class women.
Yeah.
And people really don't want to believe that Katie Price has been sexually abused loads of times, and she has. And the thing is, she was naming a celebrity. We have to be like really careful what we say.
Yeah.
She names a celebrity that raped her.
Yeah.
And this is someone who's been accused loads of times. And I know stuff about this person as well. Katie Price isn't lying about it. And there's so much online saying she's lying.
But they'll say she's lying about everything. There's nothing that Katie Price can do.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing about like the way that we treat working class people, or working class people that have been sexualized, like,
and people that don't perform their trauma appropriately, because she has a very flat delivery. People are unnerved by that, and often if you have quite a flat way of speaking, people then treat you accordingly and think
you're incapable of feeling.
Yeah.
That's why I loved the show. The show was like, it was funny. It was really funny. There were really funny bits in it. I'm trying to think of like Kerry saying like, never marry your drug dealer, especially if he's a shit one.
She'd said that to Alison before, so I was glad
advice. She like, I went to see the show a second time on my own.
I would have gone a second time. Did you get backstage access?
No.
What? But she said that we would get that. I would love to meet Katie Price.
I know. Like, I did. Like, it was a different crowd than Catford.
You went Clapham
on a Monday,
right?
And like, I felt like, did you feel weird? I felt weird being at the show sometimes around audience members who I deemed didn't respect Kerry or Katie that much. Like, there were people kept
like the gay guys giving the commentary behind us.
Yeah, about cocaine and stuff. And
There was like some really camp guys sat behind us, and at first I found their commentary entertaining. They were like the two old men Muppets that sit up in the gallery.
Yeah.
And they were like saying, "Oh, hurry up and just sing Eternal Flame." Anytime Kerry Katona spoke. But they also, when Kerry Katona was talking about the time, she went on this morning and got accused of being on drugs when she was on like heavy antipsychotics or something. These guys behind us were going, it was clearly cocaine. Well, why would she slaughter words if it was that? And she also was like, look, I've been so open about the fact I was a coke addict as well, but the time on this morning, it was because she was on this heavy medication.
I'm trying to think of like, there were other bits where like
she hates Philip and Fern.
Yeah, you hate Philip and Fern. Well,
I don't hate Fern Brady.
Yeah, that's
don't
true,
hate
that's
Fern
true.
Brady. Fern Brady tweeted me at 3 a.m. one time being like, I salute you.
For what?
Caps lock, right?
For what?
Because we're both called Fern.
Right.
And I said, hey, Fern Britain. I said, we're both called Fern. And she said, yeah. and that is why I salute you. This was post this morning.
Right.
And I think she was writing her books about the Cornish coast. Listen, Fern Britain is not a bad person. She's got dirt
Yeah.
on all of this morning.
You were obsessed with This Morning before. And before...
I've got a bit in my book where someone tries to kill themselves while watching it.
Oh, lovely. Actually, this brings me back to the bit in the show. Like, there was a bit talking about wanting to kill themselves, and then I heard someone go, because it was really pantomime, so someone went, no! As if, like...
Yeah, Katie Price was like, I come out of loose women and I wrapped the cable round my neck. And people were shouting, don't do it, Katie!
Don't do it, Katie!
Don't do it! And then when she was like, Harvey isn't here tonight, people were going, Harvey! Harvey!
It was wonderful.
It was so cool.
Good. It felt great to see like two people that I feel are very unfairly maligned. Be absolutely wrapped with love.
Yeah.
Like it felt good to be involved in it. I felt like I was at football.
Yeah.
Like just cheering on someone going, fuck them all. You know, like the horses. It was like literally when Katie Price named out Annie X, it was boo. Or that woman who used to be her best friend, Claire. I knew nothing about Claire before I went to that show.
Wasn't Claire also hers and Peter Andre's showbiz agent?
Yeah.
She mentions her a lot.
Yeah.
If you've read any of the Katie Price books, which I have.
I've read like 4 of them and then I dropped off.
Oh,
there's a lot of life to go through.
I've only read 2.
Have you? Yeah.
Because they were in my dad's. My dad's wife had copies.
Everyone had copies.
Yeah,
it was like the Da Vinci Code. It was the Da Vinci Code of women.
I just know my mum wouldn't have had copies.
My mum did. I read like Chantel's book. Do you remember Chantel?
No, sorry, you mean Chantel that was on
Big Brother.
Celebrity Big Brother.
Do you know what's weird with Chantel from Celebrity Big Brother? Is it Chanel
I love
or Chantel?
that couple.
They were great. Preston,
and that was such a good series. Pete Burns was on that one.
That was an amazing series.
Jodie Marsh.
Yeah, that was incredible. Was Michael Barrymore in that one?
Yes. George Galloway.
Oh my God.
It's when you think of all
Should
the
I
best.
be the cat?
Yeah, when you think of all the best moments from Celebrity Big Brother, it was that series. And
that
Pete
one
Burns was wearing a coat made out, that he said was made out of dead gorillas.
Yeah.
Jodie Marsh was crying because she loves animals.
It was incredible.
She's got a farm, by the way, called...
Yeah, I'm happy for her. That's a proper happy ending. Fripp's Farm.
No, but what is it called that? But loads of people criticise it because they say she doesn't take care of the animals properly.
She's only one woman. Let's talk about the last bit of like the Kerry and...
Right, so we come back after the interval. Katie Price, Kerry Katona, and Katie Price walks on again.
Yeah.
Singing, we don't have to take our clothes off. And Maurice turns to me and says, is this a known song? Because she doesn't... That's how much Maurice seems to exist in a vacuum.
She really does. It's beautiful.
And I was like, yeah, it'd be quite well known.
But in fairness, Katie Price did slow it down. It was kind of ballady.
It was recognisable.
Yeah, it was. That's true.
What else happened during the second half?
That was Trauma and Childhood. Was the second half. And then Whole Again.
Well, we have to talk about how they went into those 2 things.
Yes.
At the end, they talk about childhood trauma and they're like, social media is going to make people kill themselves.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there we go.
Shall we have a sing-along? And then we all sing Whole Again.
That felt spiritual. That felt...
Well, there was a lot of points where me and Maurice would be laughing, but we would look to you and you were like, doing a lot of this. You were like very serious about it.
I'm very into it.
Yeah.
They sincerely, like there's no other show that you could go to that's 3 hours long that was sincerely...
Such good value.
Sincerely talk about suicidal ideation at least 5 times.
Yeah.
Like, it was beautiful. And you get Whole Again. That was incredible.
And made us laugh.
It made us laugh so much.
Because at the start of the show, I said, not enough people talk about how much Katie Price has done with horses, right?
Yeah.
She's had multiple horse calendars. She's had a range of special Katie Price dressage stuff that's like hot pink.
And books and books. As well.
Books about horses. And then, sure enough, she said, the media always focus on the bad things I do. They never focus on our charity work or my dressage. And I said, I do. I was turning to them. What did I say at the start of the show?
Yeah.
She's
yeah,
big
yeah,
into
yeah.
horses.
She is.
Which is also why I think she's autistic.
I
Horse
listen to
girls.
Fern's armchair diagnosis of the corner of the. I do think.
1,000,000% Kate Price says
Yeah.
she'd be like a Christine McGuinness flavoured autistic, where it's like, oh, what do normal women do? They're glamorous with big boobs. I'm gonna copy that and make it an art.
What are the different flavours? So you talk about Christine
Well, what of
McGuinness.
autistic women?
What's your flavour? In the words of Craig David, what's your flavour?
Would I
To
be
quote another great philosopher of Germany.
would I be a traditional autistic? Well, I've got intense interests.
Yeah, you do.
But not Harry Potter.
No.
But for example, when Christine
Yours
McGuinness
was the 80s AIDS crisis and not Harry
loved,
Potter.
yeah, it's very isolating to be obsessed with the 1980s AIDS crisis.
It is. You can't go to King's Cross and like enact that. You know?
Well, when that TV show It's a Sin came out, it's really good, Russell T Davies thing. By that point, I'd watched so much stuff about AIDS in the 80s and 90s that, because a lot of young people were like, whoa, I didn't know this. But as soon as that first character got a Kaposi's sarcoma, I was like, he's dead. He's going to be the first one dead.
Oh my God.
So you kind of knew all the
You knew all
hallmarks
that,
of a AIDS story.
Yeah. What else are you interested in?
Well,
Saints. I think Saints is a big thing for you.
Lives
Or
of the
like when we
Saints.
became
Not
friends.
well, I bet, but not loads. Astrology.
Oh yeah, your ChatGPT astrology.
Yeah, I had Susan having a go at me for using ChatGPT, and I just, I thought, I'm not giving this up. I'm just going to tell people less that I use it.
Yeah, it's funny because like
It's so useful for me with like trying to avoid making social faux pas. It really offers like a non-judgmental thing that I wouldn't have anywhere else.
you know my feelings on it is like well my experience with ChatGPT is like ChatGPT is a little floozy who will tell you stuff you want to hear.
Yeah.
Like that it like
But remember I said I went to a wedding in Italy over the summer.
Yeah.
It's part of my ascent into the middle classes. And I was sat next to a guy that worked for ChatGPT.
Yeah.
He was lovely, a
Yeah.
delight. But a lot of things I was saying, he was like, that is so interesting, Fern.
which
And I
sounds
was
exactly
thinking,
like ChatGPT.
this is who programs it.
Yeah, because ChatGPT
He
would
was
be always
great.
like, what a great question, Fern.
Oh no, I'll use it for stuff like anything where, like, cause I want to seem like a chill girl.
Yeah.
I made a resolution to stop moaning to my friends. Obviously, like, as it works compared,
No.
given what I said you yesterday.
No.
But like, someone was vaping on the train on the way in, and I got so angry about it. Just this like breakdown of the social contract.
Today.
Just on the way in, right?
Yeah.
So then I was saying to ChatGPT, like, how do I stay calm and how do I stop like hating people for doing stuff like this?
Yeah.
And so it's good for that.
But could it, yeah,
Then I can just talk to you about fun things and you'll be like, she's fun.
I think you're fun anyway. And I
Ah.
like it when you should like, your friends should be there for you in your like times of fun or whatever. Also, like, can I say, you could have Googled that. Like Google would have helped you.
Google's all AI assisted now, isn't
But
it?
you can go minus AI. I know, but anyway, this is the I know who
I'm
is
not going
time
to
for
do it
that.
when no one's looking over my shoulder.
Okay, but when we're talking about like interactions that we've had in the past little while, yesterday I had a weird interaction. I was at hot yoga. And it
Oh yeah,
told
do you like that? I find
Yeah.
it really uncomfortable.
I think that's why I like it though.
Right.
You know, I like the sense.
People,
of, like,
most people love it.
yeah, I like sweating and stuff.
Yeah.
And I went to this new class, and you're not supposed to bring your phone in. And this woman brought her phone in and kept going on her phone. And then there was a bit where the yoga instructor, who was like, he looked like he was in a boy band, you know. I think he sounded Scandinavian, so he was very good looking. And he was doing this like really, really deep stretch, like that, and she took a picture of him while he was in this deep stretch. And then I spent the whole rest of the session going to myself, you know, you're supposed to relax. And then I was thinking to myself, if that was a woman instructing that and that was a man, I would have called her out straight away, and I was going mad. And then I was like, do they know each other or whatever? So then I got myself that angry that at the end of the session, I was waiting for her to leave because I was angry, but I didn't want her to be there.
Yeah.
And then I went up to the guy, and it was in front of other people. But I said, do you know that woman? She's just after taking a picture of you. And he goes, yeah, I do actually. I know her. And I was like, okay, fine, thank you. And so I walked but I'd spent like 20 minutes just going. I was like the ghost of Harvey Weinstein, and all these horrible people were going through my head. And I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stand up right here, right now. And then, but they do know each other, and she was taking it apparently for when he does deep stretches.
I've had that before. I stopped going to yoga because I don't like yoga people a lot of the time.
I don't like the social hierarchy in yoga. There is.
There absolutely is. There absolutely is. Yoga instructors are some of the most angry people I've ever met.
I went to a trauma-informed yoga session, and that was really good. It was like somatic yoga.
Yeah, well, there's like one.
She was a very nice Irish woman, and like I nearly told her all my traumas. I was gonna be
it's really good for trauma.
Yeah. It was good stuff.
Out your body and stuff.
Yeah. But I cry in weird situations, but I do need to cry. Like, I do understand.
Suppress it.
You keep trying to make me read The Body Keeps the Score.
No, I don't.
You did before. You did. Why would I say that?
I think someone else has said that to you. I haven't read it. The main interesting thing he says is that trauma exists beyond language. So there's no point trying to talk through things and articulate your way out of it, because things like shameful things that happen to you as a child, you're unable to articulate that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's better getting it out bodily.
I mean, my big problem is that I can't express anger when it happens.
Yeah, but you do express anger in other situations. You have disproportionate anger.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I love watching football, or like I get angry.
Yeah, I get angry for other people.
Yeah. Why is that?
People pleasing's protected you.
It did.
Yeah. I get angry all the time. Well, just don't do the thing that you did before. I gave this to her the other day. I got this in Urban Outfitters. I went and I was like the oldest person in Urban Outfitters. And I thought, Gen Z are babies, man. All their little clothes are made out of fleeces. All their clothes are made out of baby blankets. They had stimming toys, which is just supposed to be for my community. And they just had all this stuff that was like, no, I'm just a little baby.
Yeah.
And then there was students walking around
you
going,
sound so old right now.
I feel so old. Tell you another thing, all the young men kicking about looking like my dad in the 80s with moustaches and cardigans. It makes you think.
And a mortgage or whatever.
Well,
and a mortgage.
no, they wish. I used to think I wanted to like live forever, and now I think you must just get to a point where you become so isolated from, because you think, why are young people doing this?
Oh, that you're like...
That you're like, oh, I want to die now. Like, we're going to see all the Spice Girls die.
I don't tell me. I never know.
That was a good segue.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Girl bands forever.
Yeah.
The Louis Theroux produced documentary.
Yeah, with Kerry Katona. Kerry Katona was like one of the best at it, I feel. So I'm very... You know the way you were talking about It's a Sin and the AIDS crisis? So I felt like that watching girl bands forever. There was a lot of stuff I knew already. I'm a big scholar on girl bands.
Me too, though.
Yeah, I've read the book, The Reach for the Stars.
Yeah, you got me that.
Incredible book.
We were obsessed with pop music And it's a relief to have found someone who takes it as seriously as Alison. Like, do you not feel Scott Mills in that documentary? He was so deadly serious.
Yeah.
And I really
he should be.
appreciated it.
Yeah.
He was like, Overload by the Sugar Babes. When you listen to it now, it could have come out this week. And
Correct.
I was like, yeah, it could have.
1,000% correct.
Right.
When you talk about, I'll tell you why I love pop. And
So this is a 3-part documentary. By the time this comes out, it's still going to be on the iPlayer.
Yeah.
Me and Alison have barred ourselves from discussing it at all
until
till
we
now
got here.
because it was so good.
So like, Louis Frew's done documentaries on boy bands. I discovered a lot more about boy bands because I wasn't really into boy bands when I was a kid. I was very
I was
girl
the same.
bandy.
I wasn't in a boy bands either.
I would have a favourite from a boy band, but I wouldn't have an album from a boy band. Shane from Boyzone. Anyone with like a messed up eyebrow.
And Shane was married to Esther from
Eternal. Yes.
Not everyone remembers that.
Oh, I do.
I'm just looking for everything I said about it. Go on.
So like girl bands forever, it started off with Eternal, which I found interesting. There was a lot of like what I noticed with a lot of the bands were like they either went to like Italia Conti school or Sylvia Young school. And what I like about girl bands about pop in that time was it was actual class mobility. So there was pop music was treated like football, as in like if you were a lad and you were good at football, there was a chance that you could like raise up the whole family. I was related to a guy who had trials for different football teams, and he was treated like the Dalai Lama child. We did treat him like, wow, cool. I shook his hand. Like I was like 5 years older than him, but I was like formally going, hey, remember me when you're really rich and I might need somebody. And but I feel like with pop music, because like Jerry Halliwell, I'm gonna say this, wasn't really that talented. An amazing person. I think her personality is incredible. Her ambition, everything about her is incredible. Her voice and her dancing wasn't that great, but the Spice Girls wouldn't have been anything without her.
She was the one that took them to another manager.
Took them away from that manager, yeah.
But another thing about when you're talking about social mobility, a thing I was thinking about watching that is how much immigration is such a positive for British pop music because Jerry Halliwell's mum was Spanish.
Yeah.
Mel B's dad was somewhere from the Caribbean.
I'm not sure where her dad was from, but I know that like a few of Mystique were from the like West London.
And All Saints, Mel Black, she's like half French, she's Jewish. Like if you just and then the Appleton Sisters, Canadian, all these bands that are seen as like, oh, we're proud of these British pop bands, or
and the cool thing, the
Mel Black didn't come off. What she's so bitter about the Spice Girls.
Oh, but I think it was real.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. I think it's cool to admit that, like, do you think she came off bad?
Okay, not just that, right. Them and Eternal. This is the main thing I wanted to say to you.
Okay.
Mel Black from All Saints and the girls from Eternal were like, when we first heard Wannabe, we thought it was a joke song. And it's like, guess what? 10-year-old girls don't care about you harmonising. You care about a song about your friends.
I cared.
And how friendship never ends. No, but I remember hearing Eternal when I was wee.
Yeah.
And that would be like what my mum's into. I'm not going to be into love songs when I'm wee.
I used to absolutely blast out, and I am blessed in the bath every time I look into my babies. That was great. I loved it. But I also
hated it.
Oh my God. You just
And I hated when they did that duet with that random guy.
I want to be.
You deserve a mansion.
Yeah. That was Tiffany's favourite song from EastEnders, and when she died,
Our music was shite as well.
No!
Fucking so boring,
I read
man.
Martine McCutcheon's autobiography when I was a kid. It was one of the best books. No, okay, we disagree. I can like the Spice Girls and acknowledge. I'll tell
But they
you
were
why.
baffled that Wannabe was that did well.
But they're like we were kids. I really enjoyed it, and like I know that. So this is the horrible thing. My aunt, who's still married to my uncle, she was just going out with my uncle at the time, and she came to my birthday party. It was the first ever family gathering that she came to. She bought me an All Saints CD. I threw that CD on the floor and started crying. I went like, "How dare you?"
Really?
Yeah, I really messed it up. And she's actually probably my favorite aunt.
What did she say when you did that?
Well, I don't know. As a kid, I didn't look for her reaction after that. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking about me at that time.
I can't believe you didn't like All Saints.
Well, I do now, and I did when I listened to the CD.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
know where it's at. It's an amazing
Maturity.
song.
It's called Maturity.
I listen to I Know Where It's At a lot.
Look, yeah.
Regularly still.
Booty Call, great song. Booty Call is a great song.
That was in the documentary where they were basically like the Appleton sisters did a lot of shagging that was implied.
Yeah.
And I thought I thought that was great.
Yeah.
But they were really judged by the press at the time.
But like
I remember getting combat trousers because of All Saints when I was 11.
Yeah, I really liked the Spice Girls. Then I liked All Saints as a kind of like, oh, I was wrong. Then it was Destiny's Child. That was my movement. But to go back to you saying I don't understand why Mel Black came off that way or whatever, I think you have a thing. I think people have been jealous of you in the past and have been mean to you, and you've held that on them, which I think you should. And I have been in the past jealous of people and been mean to them, and they've been nice to me. So I can understand from, like, I'm way more forgiving of Mel Black than you are because of, like, personal, because I don't think you've ever really been jealous of people.
I'm 1,000,000%.
Well, you've been
all the time.
Who?
That's the only thing that drives me. Always get my main rivalry is with Phil Wang.
Yeah. Well, it helps that you're friends with him, though.
I always get jealous of Phil Wang.
The people that I've been jealous of, I've dehumanized him. I have I've intentionally not got to know them because I know that they're nice, and I didn't want to,
Yeah.
And it's messed up, and I've changed now. But so I can give Mel, I like Mel being honest, because it would be weird.
I thought she seemed nice.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you where it comes from, really, is I remember reading an article by the fifth All Saint in just 17 when I was little.
Yeah.
And she said I was driven out of All Saints by Mel, and that she'd put chewing gum in her hair and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This needs probably to be fact checked.
But there wasn't a lot of that in the documentary. There wasn't a lot of because I listen to a lot of podcasts. The Honeys are a really interesting girl.
The Honeys fell out as well.
They really fell out, and there was one of them doesn't even sing, but is beautiful.
Naima.
I think it was Naima.
Yeah.
If you're looking for more, you should listen to Garrod Farley's Fascinated podcast. He goes in, he interviews both Naima and the other lady in the group in two separate podcasts.
So me and Alison really like this program called, is it called Pop Stars The Reunion?
The big reunion.
The big reunion.
I watch it every year.
I also watch it every year, and I thought that was better than the Louis Theroux documentary. Because I loved finding out that Esther from Eternal now works as a receptionist in a gym, and Vernie's a lawyer, and it shows everyone in there. And Jay from Five got heavily into meditation.
Yeah, you would. You would. When the rainy days are done.
But he's rejoined Five, and they're going on tour.
I want to see that.
Do you want it?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
do.
the O2?
I saw the Sugar Babes reunion. That was incredible. I saw Girls Aloud. That was incredible.
Do you think with the Sugar Babes, because I've started to question, I always thought Keisha was driving everyone out, and now
Yeah.
I'm like, that's problematic.
I think like
that.
well, Keisha does her own like video blogs, and it's very interesting. I think everyone's got their own. I don't know what happened with Siobhan. That was the first exit.
It was
But
because
they were
Keisha
also
and
very
Mattia
young.
were
They were
friends
very young.
from when they were little, but Keisha's since been at Siobhan's wedding and everything, so
exactly.
they've made up.
But with Mattia, there was a.
I'm so excited to read her book since
I know
she
that's
told me
coming
about
out this
it.
year. But there's a lot of there's no maternity leave for pop stars. Kerry has said in other publications and stuff that she felt like by being pregnant she was kicked out of the band.
Don't you think, like, I thought Jenny Frost came across as better. And Jenny Frost making little digs at Kerry Katona. I was like, Kerry Katona was barely an Atomic Kitten, and everyone will remember her forever.
Yeah, that's
and she's
true.
And what did you do? Snog, marry, avoid for like 2 series, which was a horrible program. And all they did was make them over to look like middle class girls.
They did. They made them
put
over
a fucking wig and a beret on them.
A beret. It was always a beret. So it's
every time.
Yeah, it's the opposite to stick a donk on it. Stick a beret on it.
What's that?
But it's a music genre. We don't have time.
Okay.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for watching this podcast on YouTube. I'm being sincere. Back to you. Thank you, mate. You're really helping so much. You know what will help a little bit more, though?
If you smash the subscribe button, get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. You can message us on WhatsApp. I think the WhatsApp number is here somewhere on the screen.
Or email us at ignorethatfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Thank you. See you next week.